What's up, guys? This is Mary here with another episode of Kaguya-sama. So, last episode, attempts were made to integrate Miko a little bit better with the student council. Now, I looked at the manga later on and I found out that they kind of adapted the chapters out of order. So, that scene with Miko there where they were trying to tell her, just calm down, everything's gonna be fine. That happened a little bit earlier than was shown in the anime. I guess it didn't really matter much. All in all, I'm just hoping that they can really, the gag where she always gets into these scenes at the most unfortunate of times and cause huge misunderstandings. It's kind of funny the first 2 or 3 times, but it's going to gradually lose its value as time goes on. So hopefully they can think of some new gags for her as we go forward. And then we also had the entire medical examination kind of episode there. But really, all that came out of it is we confirmed that Kaguya really, really, really loves Shirogane, right? And that's not news to any of us by this time. So, that is that. Oh, by the way, just to give you guys a heads up, next week, my good friend Matt Out of Culture, who is another YouTube reactor, is going to come visit me yet again. You guys might have seen him on this channel already back in episode 2, I believe, where we did a twin reaction. So he's coming to visit me again, and we're thinking of getting the next episode of Kaguya as a twin reaction as well. Although this time it's probably going to be on his channel. So next week, do remember to check that out at that time. So anyways, let's get the show on the road. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. A new prick. What are we in for today? Oh, another Miko finished. Wow, that was quick. I guess she can't take, she can't keep up with the pace of the others, right? Feels like she doesn't really fit in. She needs to be assimilated into student council. While I was reading the manga, I also, because it's hard to not do that, took a look at the chapter titles of the future ones, and if I'm guessing correctly, we might be ending with some major development for Ishigami instead. It was only a quick sneak peek through the chapter title, so I'm not entirely sure. But I think a few chapters upwards, it's Ishigami focused. So, just a guess. Just a wild guess. Oh, speaking of which, I thought this was a Miko focused episode. It's actually an Ishigami focused episode. So is it Ishigami X Miko? Or Ino, I guess. Okay. Didn't you already know what they were before you entered, girl? Wait, you want to be the one who... Okay, I guess she's also a hopeless romantic, right? This girl definitely watches or reads too many fiction works. Well, I guess if you were the main character of your own series, that's probably what would happen. I mean, if you want to do that, don't you? Yeah. Yeah, where's Ishigami? This actually makes a lot of sense. I love the Peanuts reference. Charlie Brown reference, if you will. Who are those two again? Peppermint Patty and Maggie? Margaret? Kind of forgot the name of the glasses. $50. Okay, I think I get it now. Miko is definitely a hopeless romantic and whatnot. Well, here's a logical one. Oh my god. I guess this is what happens when you are too repressed. Your imagination runs wild. Let this be a lesson to all of you. Um. Oh my god. You know, this would actually be much more believable than her formal than her first disillusion. I'm talking about. Okay. I thought this was gonna be an Ishigami focused episode. Wait, what? Did I misread the... Did I misread the title? Oh. Wait, I was like, sorry to say, those poses are the ones that calm me down. What? Are we gonna get a Kaguya dance now? It's like somebody holding. It's like somebody holding her face. What? Okay, what's gonna happen here? Oh. Wait, and then, okay, he's gonna take her. She's gonna take his hand. Right, I can see where this is going. Oh wait. Straight. Straight to the heart. Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh. We're reaching critical levels here. Aw. I thought he was gonna I thought she was gonna take his hand. And you know, in her fluster. Are you? Wait. Are you she? Yeah. Okay, okay. The cheerleading squad? That can't be further from it's norm yeah. Ah. These so-called party P in Japanese. Party people. Really? Run, Ishigami, run! Okay, so I'm guessing that maybe the episode titles got a little bit mixed up. Maybe for the translations at the beginning. I'll go look at it later. Because obviously this one is Ishigami folk. Eight, 9. Gender reversal. Wait, is this right now or flashback? I think I kind of missed that part of the explanation. Oh yeah, it's right now. Oh, and Kaguya. Yeah, that's gonna be kind of hard. And here's... Oh man. Just as Miko. Oh my god. Ooh. I can't believe it actually fits him. What's with this Fiji? You just had to say it. Oh. You're gonna die, dude. He's jealous. Yay! Well, all right. Okay, let me go back and check the episode's title again because I think something weird happened there. I'll see you guys in a second. Alrighty. So, in regards to the episode title of the, I guess, first adapted chapter, first adapted story, so I went back and checked in the anime, it was indeed Ishigami Closes His Eyes Part 2, and that is the exact same in the manga as well. So, obviously, there's something peculiar about this situation, right? Ishigami did not appear even once during the entire story. So, what is it about? Well, the best I can guess right now is there was a little excerpt in the middle where Miko was talking about how back in middle school she received an anonymous letter with a flower in it to cheer her up and whatnot. My best guess is that that was probably sent to her by Ishigami, right? Otherwise, there's absolutely no other way or no other reason why why that particular story or that particular chapter had anything to do with Ishigami. So it was probably Ishigami that sent her that letter, and it would definitely fit his personality as well. We've already known him to be kind of shy and so on and so forth. He probably would prefer to use an anonymous identity anyways. Not to mention we do see him sticking up for Miko before, right? During the election arc and whatnot. So I think there's a pretty high probability that is the case, and so that's what I'm gonna stick to right now. As for Miko's character, I mean, I already talked about this at length for 2 episodes already. How, if you really break it down, she's not actually a paragon of justice and all that. And we can definitely see here as well, she is a hopeless romantic, right? She has wild imagination. I think her concept of romance might be similar to Kaguya, very pure and whatnot, and easily flustered. That kind of. She's probably the type that still believes in true love as well. Yada yada yada, right? Which I mean, that's what you get when you are too repressed, I guess you could say. And I kind of also am wondering whether or not she is a doem as well, which of course means she has masochistic tendencies and whatnot. Or I definitely feel like she's the type who would fall for a guy who is more of the pushy kind, the more overbearing kind, let's just say. But we'll see about that, I guess. I do applaud them for quickly putting a variation onto her misunderstanding, right? In the end of last episode, I said that, yeah, sure, the gag is funny the first few times, but if you keep on continuing using the same gag, it turns old. And I like what they did here. They basically made a slight variation to it so that even though it's the same gag, the implications are not quite the same, right? So now she's basically pinning all her misunderstanding on Kaguya instead, and so as we can see at the end of this episode as well, when Miko once again barges in at an unopportune moment, what she's thinking about is going to be slightly shifted, and so that keeps the gag still kind of fresh, and it makes sense as well. So I do like how they handled the situation, and it was at a pretty appropriate timing as well, where the gag, I feel, the original gag of her always walking in on some immoral stuff, if you will, was getting kind of repetitive. So good on them. The second story, the Kaguya Wants to Touch, I think was the title. I mean, yeah, not really too much to say there. Although the ending resolution, right, the scene with her confrontation between Kaguya and Shirogane definitely turned out a little bit different from what I was expecting. The whole time, especially once Shirogane grabbed Kaguya's hand, I was thinking that maybe due to her being flustered, she wouldn't really notice what she was doing. She'd probably still want to raise her right hand and put it on her cheek as well, without realizing that she was actually taking Shirogane's hand, and so it was going to be Shirogane's hand instead that was cupping her on her cheek, right? And then once she realizes, then all hell breaks loose, and then we have the same kind of ending conclusion there. But well, I guess kind of disappointing in that way. I wonder why the author didn't do it in this way. I feel like that would also it wouldn't be out of character at all, considering all we've seen so far from Kaguya. But anyways, it is what it is, right? No misunderstandings there, and well, at least Kaguya and Shirogane are back to normal, right? And then finally, we have the Ishigami-focused episode here. Joining the cheerleading squad, right? Well, let's see what to say here. One thing I guess I want to talk about, which isn't quite apparent here, is in the slogans. I mean, this is kind of a minor trivial thing, but the slogans that they wrote were actually really hilarious. I think the translation already did the best job they could to sort of convey the same sort of outlandishness and ridiculousness of their slogans, but I still think it still slightly falls short, right? And honestly, I don't know how to really describe this, because it's definitely not something that's easily translatable. So I guess just leave it at. All I can say is it's definitely more funny, and if anybody normal was in Ishigami situation, you'd probably be saying the same thing as well. It's not an Ishigami specific kind of situation. They definitely cranked it up to 11 there. I mean, once again, not even all around the world, right? In the West, in the East, and whatnot, you have these type of people who are, Ishigami calls them normies here, but definitely they're more, even a little bit more than that, right? Those that go to parties and party all day, party all night, that kind of character. Japan, they are called, once again, paripi. Is the word to describe them, which is short for party people. And I mean, it was a pretty nice depiction of them, always kind of like, yeah, woohoo, yo, man. I guess maybe the best type of relation example I can think of in the West would probably be like frat boys and, what's the word again? Sorority sisters, or, I kind of forgot how to say that thing, but frat boys, as a part of fraternity and whatnot. And so that was kind of funny. I do have the kind of feeling though that so we already see probably Ishigami has some sort of relation with Miko because of the first story, right? I'm kind of feeling maybe he also is going to maybe have some special development with the vice leader of the cheerleading group. She's definitely very nice to him, right? So I don't know. I'm gonna keep my eyes focused on that as well, because it seems that this series has a tendency to introduce characters and then actually keep on using them, right? So these are not going to be side characters just for one particular episode or whatnot, but they are going to be recurring, and that probably goes also for the Onodera that we see in this episode as well. Oh, and speaking of which, I almost forgot. So one thing that this is going back to Miko a little bit, right? So the Miko and Ishigami kind of situation. I was actually thinking when I saw that it might be, the thing that instantly popped in my mind is Haru from Nisekoi, and how Haru and Roku initially met, and their circumstances and their misunderstanding, right? So I do kind of get the feeling that that's probably what's going to happen with Ishigami and Miko as well. It's just my guess, but it would definitely fit into the tropes of rom-com, right? So that. And I guess the final thing here would be the uniform wearing scene. Honestly, I don't know what to say. I guess Kaguya is maybe a little bit too pure in this regard, so that's why she didn't really think anything of it. But honestly, I mean, lending your uniform to a guy is one thing, but lending the uniform directly that you just wore in the same day without even washing it first, and then allowing another guy to actually take off his clothes and then wear it right then and there, I gotta say, man, that's pretty kinky, right? So, no, I'm not gonna go too far into this, but definitely there's a lot of things in that situation which I can say is quite lewd, even though nothing particularly erotic was actually shown or anything. I gotta say that situation with lewd was lewd, right? And not only Ishigami, I think any guy in that circumstance would kind of all right, I probably can't say any further. We gotta still keep this at least PG-13 rated, right? But anyways, so I guess that we can just chalk that up to Kaguya being a little bit too pure and all that, so she doesn't really think too much of it, right? Whereas anybody more normal, I think, would definitely kind of hesitate in that situation there. And then, of course, the ending there, once again going back to Miko's situation and her new misunderstanding. I'm going to venture a guess and say that what she was thinking of when she opened the door and then closed it again is probably Kaguya is forcing Ishigami to dress up in drag and so on and so forth, and it's just another part of her plan to take over the student council, right? So I guess it worked perfectly there, especially right after the Miko episode as well. So there we go. That's my thoughts for this particular episode. Quite fun as usual. Definitely looking forward to see how Ishigami is going to shine in the sports festival. But anyways, once again, a reminder, next week I will be doing a twin reaction with my good friend Matt Ladd of Culture, so it's probably going to be on his channel. I will keep you guys posted as well, of course. So, it might be late, I don't know, we haven't worked out the specifics yet, but anyways, do look forward to that in the next week. So, that's it for now. Goodbye, guys, and peace.